Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Go Rogue. What we're doing here is testing out our new webcam, so settings might change eventually to get in the middle, but we'll record and see how it goes. And we're pitting together the first two decks from this article series. So on the left we have Ticked Off Grievous using Elite Politic and General Grievous, and on the right we have Shield Slam using Qui-Gon, Rey, and the Rebel Trooper. So we're using one of the FFG Imperial Assault mats because we don't have a nice blank color mat underneath, so hopefully it's not too distracting. Anyway, we're going to play these two decks against each other um, 2 or 3 times and see how things shake out. So we expect Grievous Politic to be super aggressive, trying to off things pretty quickly, and we'll see if the Rebel Trooper and Shields can disrupt that or not. So rolling off to pick the battlefield, and it looks like Shield Slam player is going to choose to play at Echo Base. So we don't get our Separatist base damage to get around Qui-Gon's shields, but we can throw some shields on our characters. Um, Generally, I like to put one on each character and make my opponent decide who to attack, but in this case, it might be good to invest them all in Politic. Alright, so they're going to start out with a take cover and start shielding up Rey. And we'll start putting our upgrades on Politic. I've got my dice on the wrong characters here. Have to figure out what I'm doing exactly. So if you read the article series, this deck has almost all ranged upgrades to soup up Politic, and we really rely on General Grievous's dice to be strong enough to cause problems. So the Rebel Trooper will get activated, and we'll play a backup muscle with the Ticked Off Grievous deck to start creating some damage that we're going to use later. So we've got 2 shields on Rey now, and I'll activate Politic for some range damage, and it looks like I get some, so that's great. Start piling the damage on Qui-Gon or the Rebel Trooper. Guardian really wasn't a factor there because they decided to exhaust the Rebel Trooper pretty early. But with the resources they can use to select, so that can really damage our results here facing a control deck. So our unmodified damage will get removed, and now our modified damage from the pistol is pretty useless. So we still have a chance to reroll, but we'll probably just take a resource, start preparing for bigger upgrades in future turns. Qui-Gon's going to roll, and we'll play a data pad on Grievous. If anything, I found the data pad in this deck is really useful at setting Politic up onto his focus side if we really need a 3 damage face out of Grievous or something to get rid of somebody. And it looks like we're going to roll resources for days here. No damage from Grievous or from our aggro deck yet. We do still have our backup muscle lingering, but for now we'll just take damage from Rey and Qui-Gon onto Politic. We'll take our resources and put another rifle on Politic and really try to soup him up for the next turn. Yeah, my opponent's going to claim and put a shield on Qui-Gon, so I'll use backup muscle as well and start piling damage on the Trooper because eventually we'll want him out of there. So we'll draw back up to 5. Things not looking so great for our aggro deck yet. It's taking a minute to explain Guardian and make sure everyone knows how it's working. Two resources for the deck on the left and 2 for the deck on the right. So a lot of pretty powerful 3-cost upgrades that could get played now, like Force Throw and things like that. So we're set up pretty brutally. And a Force Throw is going to come out. So putting it on Rey would provide a free action, but putting it on Qui-Gon means it's probably going to survive a little bit longer. We plan on having a lot of shields on him anyway, so put it on Qui-Gon for now. And we'll play it on the hunt on General Grievous. That's really good against a Qui-Gon deck, right? Get rid of all the shields if we can. So they rolled a special side and Force Throw, and we're going to unpredictable that. on the right side of the die here. And then activate Politique with our ambush action. He is not rolling great today. More shields onto Qui-Gon. A lot more damage to burn through for our aggro deck, but still not in too much trouble yet. Watching this video now, I can see it's really hard to see what's on the faces of the dies. So hopefully, we've ordered an overhead camera stand. That might help us focus in on the plate area a little bit more and not from such an odd angle. Spray's going to roll melee damage. I'll discard my other On the Hunt to reroll some dice, because I have a lot of things that could be better. We did reroll the modified Politique, because I'm thinking we can get just a natural ranged, but it might have been smart to do that just to get the focus. We didn't get a natural ranged, so yeah, that would have been a smart move. So Shield Stun players thinking about what they want to do now. They still got the Trooper to activate and some dice to resolve. Trooper's going to activate and absorb some of General Grievous's damage before it gets on to the more important characters. Rolled pretty well onto a ranged damage side. So. We'll finish off the Trooper, resolving Grievous's 3 damage side with a modifier from On the Hunt, so no longer have to worry about the Trooper. Since something died, we can ready our Politique and get ready for the next round. Discard a Willpower to reroll. We have a Special Side and Force Throw again, so we're going to get rid of that with the He Doesn't Like You using our data pad. We really don't need something powerful being thrown back in our face. So Scout's going to get discarded to reroll Rey, up as a resource. We'll probe, looking for any nasty events, and looks like we got a defensive stance. She has 1 with the Force in her hand, so we'll have to watch out for whoever that gets played on. Alright, take our resource with Politic, and I think at this point, forget to reactivate my Politic and go to the next round. We'll see if this is the game where I remembered or not. Yeah, my opponent claimed to put a shield on Rey, so everybody's fully shielded. Bypass the shields with backup muscle onto Qui-Gon. And yeah, I missed an opportunity there to reroll my Politic. Rookie mistakes, guys. So we're up to 3 resources. Shield deck's going first again. Drew an all-in. Another copy of backup muscle. So we've got all our finishers. We've got another copy of probe, so we can search for any more deflects that might come out. We already saw 1 willpower get discarded, but none of the field medics yet, so we're going to want to burn people pretty fast if we can. Yeah, so use a take cover to deal damage using Qui-Gon's ability. That'll hit Politic, so it's down to 5 health. Things not looking so great still. We have killed the Rebel Trooper, so we've gotten rid of one of the activations, but that's only going to help them claim more, I think. So we're going to start activating pretty quick. We'll activate Politic. We didn't get a natural ranged, so we really need that in order to be able to use all these modified symbols we're rolling. So hopefully we get something going here soon. So Lightsaber's going to get played on Rey, which will provide a free action. And being out of resources, they're probably going to activate one of the 2 characters. Move things around so it's a little more on the camera here. It looks like they're going to riposte and hit somebody for 3, so Politique is really in trouble now. If they have another copy of that, he's dead next turn. So we're going to reroll, keep that modified damage again. So this time it worked out. Probably should roll those looking for focus. That again, if we use that focus, he might not last long enough to make any use out of it. Qui-Gon's going to activate, come up blank, and probably the worst place that could have came out of the force throw. And we'll shoot pretty big at Qui-Gon using all that blaster damage from Politic. So we've still got Grievous to activate, they've still got Rey, and we've got our backup muscle. Qui-Gon's up to 7 damage, so only 4 more to get rid of him. Be nice if we had more damage on Rey so we could steal that lightsaber, but alas, we've chosen the wrong horse. So we've got him on the hunt, which can remove all of Rey's shields, which is nice, and 2 3 damage sides out of General Grievous. So we can use one of those to, I guess we'd have to use both of those to get rid of Qui-Gon. We could have done one and then got rid of him with backup muscle, but rather keep our backup muscle to bypass all the shields on Rey in case she starts shielding even more. So now things are looking pretty solid. We've knocked out 2 characters. We've almost lost 1, but Rey is left and not looking too strong as it just continues to roll, not damage. So yeah, we'll remove all those with On the Hunt, and we'll spend a resource to remove those shields because we don't need her getting any more shields than she already has. So Rey's player will take a resource, and we'll move the damage with backup muscle. They'll claim and take a shield, so we'll roll Politic a second time this time, and we get some unmodified range damage, a resource, and a focus. So focus, I'll take 2 as modified damage, and then go swinging. So that'll put 4 more onto Rey, which is pretty nice. Still got a backup muscle in our hand, so we've got 3 free damage there. Rey is going to really struggle to kill off both characters, so we need to, we could play a long game. But right now it looks like the aggressive deck is going to take down this shielding, control-y type deck. Still hold out blaster, still have backup muscle, still have our probe, still have our all-in, and drew blaster rifle, so if we can get both characters activated all in, should be able to finish this game off. So Field Medic's going to heal Rey too, the probe, see if we can get any more Field Medics or willpowers out of that player's hand. But we see a lightsaber and deflect, so that's good to get rid of. Camera decided to go way out of focus there, sorry about that. Hopefully it comes back soon. There. Activate Politic into special on the Stormtrooper rifle. We do have our unmodified blaster damage, so we can always reroll looking for modified stuff. Probably try to get Grievous out there first, so we can do all our rerolling at once, though. Yep, Rey's just got a modified damage, nothing to worry about there. Grievous will roll like a monster. Wow. Looking pretty sharp. Rey player's just fighting to survive and looking for a melee damage, but not coming up. So we'll use all in at this point. We'll do 5 damage using Grievous. And a few more using blaster pistols. Use the Stormtrooper rifle to force 2 more damage onto Rey. And then we can gain some shields using Baltic's dice. If we had a resource, we could play our backup muscle and end it, but we're kind of broke right now, so we'll probably claim and then just set ourselves up to finish it next turn. hunting for that resource. If we can get it, then we can back up muscle this turn. But shields really don't do much for Ray right now, knowing we have that in our hand. But we cannot roll that side of the life plus, so looks like Ray's player claimed, and we'll go to the next turn. We'll definitely have money to play backup muscle now. It's just a matter of time. It could be another field medic, so or willpower and field medic, so it could take a little longer, but with 8 dice versus 2, we're in pretty good field position. If they had had one more action with Qui-Gon, they could have won with the Force on him in place of Force throw. That would have helped a lot. So the aggro deck really got good use out of those control options. I think 2 or 3 times Force throw rolled special, but was removed with electroshock or he doesn't like you. So those are important things to get rid of. So Ray's gonna roll her typical awfulness. I mean, that'd be a lot of damage, but no resources to trigger it all. So rolling just that die, and we'll end it with backup muscle. So that's the first game. We'll shuffle it up and try to play again. Hey guys, so we're set up again. Camera's at a slightly different position this time. Doesn't look much better, but we'll get there eventually. So again, we're gonna do Ticked Off Grievous versus Shield Slam. So the last game, Ticked Off Grievous was able to pick off the Trooper, then Qui-Gon, then Rey. Things worked out pretty well. So against this sort of shielding deck, we'll want to keep it on the hunt. That's what we were trying to show you there, looking at our hands. So we'll roll off for the battlefield here. Take our initial resources and see where things go. Having pretty meager rolls for our battlefield taking. At least with Ticked Off Grievous. It's a tie, so we'll re-roll, and yeah, Foul Thief will come through. So we'll play at the Separatist base. And Qui-Gon's going to take 2 shields, so they can fully take advantage of that shield pinging power. And we'll get moving. So we'll plan on the hunt on Grievous right away. Take cover will get used to ping right away. So we'll roll down with Grievous and try to get going. So we got a pretty ideal roll here. That's 5 damage. We have the resource and then on the hunt to remove Qui-Gon's shields. So can't really complain about any of that. They could have a copy of Flank or something to remove stuff, so gotta be a little careful. I've got another take cover, so that'll be no damage on Baltic. Luckily our upgrade so far has gone on Grievous, which is abnormal for this deck. So we'll remove those shields. That way we can't have any more of this shield shenanigans coming up. And we can swing for 5 at whoever we feel like here soon. Right, so they're going to play Resistance HQ, which allows them to discard a card to gain a shield unless we can pay a resource. The card gets readied afterwards. So we'll swing big for 5 on Qui-Gon right away. He's only got 11 health, so if we can hit him down fast, that'll eliminate him. One of the reasons these games have been taking so long is the Shield Slam deck just has a lot of health. I mean, you've got 28 health, Guardian, a ton of shields. It's a lot of survivability. You can end up in a lot of painful mill and timed games when I get that card bad. So, got to make sure you always know what you want to do, exactly when you want to do it. So, looks like Ray's going to activate. And we'll probe and grab 2 copies of Deflect, which is about as good as we can get. If we could grab 2 copies of Willpower with our other probe, I'd be pretty happy. So Qui-Gon will activate and roll some shields, and we'll activate Baltic into some crazy focus. Qui-Gon will take a shield, and we'll focus Baltic to deciding between the resource and the damage side. Yeah, the resource side, I think. We'll take our resource, let that Rebel Trooper claim his resource, and then we'll separate space. The damage will get placed onto the Rebel Trooper, which makes sense. Keep your important characters alive. We've got a jetpack in our hands and an electroshock now. 3 resources. So I think the smart thing to do while we're ahead is to just play 1 upgrade, hold out blaster, save back 1 resource, and then activate someone. So we'll activate Grievous because we want to know whether or not we need that resource for his damage right away or not. And doesn't look like we do yet. Right, so Jedi Robes is coming out onto Rey, so she'll get a shield and another action using Rey's ability. We gotta be careful getting down to 0 resources here, because Qui-Gon could rattle off 4 actions in a row of damage, and Baltic's only got 6 health left, so things could end pretty quickly. For poor old Bala. Alright, second action, I'm going to put Scout onto Rey as well, so Rey's got all her reducer upgrades, so they're really there so that you can play a lightsaber at your next turn for only 1. So I could set up a pretty painful turn for Rey in the future. So Qui-Gon will activate with that last action and come up blank. Cannot get any rolls with the Shield Slam deck today. Roll Baltic as a focus, a shield, and then Hold Up Blaster as a gun with no resource cost. So that's great. If we could get that 3 damage side on Grievous from a reroll, we'd be good. Trooper's going to absorb that gun. After the last game, I think my opponent knows how easy it is for me to not end up with a gun. So we'll take that 3 damage side on Grievous. Let's just load on for the Trooper or Qui-Gon. And Shoots one player is deciding what to do. They've still got to activate Rey. They've got range damage showing on the Troopers. They can start piling onto Bala. Good news is Bala's Hold Up Blaster has redeploy. It doesn't help Grievous a ton, but it's better than not having an extra upgrade there. So Rey's going to activate, and we'll do our damage using Grievous's die. And that'll push Qui-Gon pretty high, all the way up to 8 damage. So we just need a 3 to push through, and we'll be rid of one of the main players. Rey's still pretty powerful and strong right now, so we've got to be a little careful. But compared to the last game, things are looking way up early on for aggro. We're really bursting fast. We're activating quickly, claiming a lot, dishing out a lot of damage. So focusing Jedi Robes will turn Qui-Gon into some melee damage. A little unpredictable that. Anytime you can make them reroll what they just focused, probably makes people a little angry, but sometimes that's worth it. So taking a ton of resources on the Jedi side, and our bounty hunters will play a second or a first copy of backup muscle for this game. So we could 3 turns in a row use that to kill Qui-Gon, assuming there's no willpower or field medic on our opponent's hand. we could kill something and trigger Bawa a second time this turn, that would be great. I don't think we're going to quite be able to do that. Yep, so there's a copy of Willpower. One of the things you can do against this Politic deck, one of the reasons you might not want to bring Separatist base, is if they have an opponent that's a character that's down to 1 health left, and you claim Separatist base, they can kill the character then. You might get something on Grievous, but your readying of Politic does nothing for you because you can't take any more actions that round. So you got to be careful not to leave anybody at 1 health, or a smart player will deny you that. So we haven't had that problem in these games, but I've ran into it online a couple times. So I'm going to use Resistance HQ to get rid of Politic's shield. Move to the next round. So drop to 5, see what we can get this new, take our resources from the token pool. We're going to do Tactical Mastery, take a risk, see if we can kill something with Grievous right away. He does not roll cooperatively for that. So with our second action off of Tactical Mastery, we'll probe, search for any more willpower or field medics in our opponent's hand. So it finds all things and a willpower, great. So one less healing card for the Jedi. A copy of It Binds All Things is going to come into play, which makes sense. Tell us more new information. We'll activate Politic. Alright, so we got a lot of range damage there. Not quite enough to kill anybody, but enough to really put some pressure on. So a copy of Force Throw is going to go on to Rey. I'm not going to discard anything to play it, so 4 dice on Rey are all going to come in activating, and nothing turns out awful. There is a nice copy of Scout, but that's about it. Well, and of course we knock everything everywhere. See if we get them right. Yeah. Okay. So we got rid of the shields down the hunt. Need a little more space in our camera frame. We'll have to zoom out there. Yeah, so Scout is going to remove either Datapad or Electroshock from our hands. It looks like Electroshock was chosen. It's probably pretty smart. Datapad doesn't do much for us at this point, but Electroshock could remove something like a Force Throw that rolls well eventually. So we'll shoot at Qui-Gon. He's now down to 1 health, so we can off him with backup muscle with our next action. Looks like he's going to activate. Won't really matter because backup muscle's coming in. He rolls well though, so there's that. Re-rolling instead of using backup muscle. Not sure why, but that's what I've chosen to do. And we'll use Politic to get rid of Qui-Gon. That'll ready him. So the Trooper's going to come in just to activate all their characters. Politic's going to go guns blazing. The field medic's going to start healing up the Trooper. So start shooting at Rey. The Trooper hasn't really disrupted us that much because we're going fast enough that it hasn't been a problem. Politic's dangerously close to dead, which is a little scary, but we'll claim Separatist base. Another damage on the Trooper. So we've got a little bit of life left to contend with, but nothing awful. I'm just going to discard the jetpack from our hand using Rey. We'll go to the next round, see if we can get rid of some characters. Put a copy of the jetpack on Baltic. Probably not the smartest move. All it would take is easy event to get rid of him, so it's the move that was chosen. Swarm with the Force is now on Rey, getting rid of the Scout, so we've got to worry about a lot of focus over there now, which can be pretty devastating when they have Force Throw and Rey on the field. Another copy of Field Medical. Heal Rey to full health. We'll activate Baltic. See if we can get anything in. Both copies of Deflect are gone, so we're pretty safe in that the whole game. No natural TPs. We do have a focus, so we can chain something together, assuming Rey doesn't roll any damage. And Disrupt. Yep, nothing too devastating. So focus one of these to its natural die side. Yep. The Trooper will claim that way it doesn't have to deal with too much. So Baltic's struggling here now. When he doesn't like you to get rid of that Trooper die, you don't need Phala falling apart yet. Lightsaber's going to get discarded to reroll, and we'll see a special side on the Force Throw, a focus, Rey on some modified side, and even more focus for the Jedi Robes. So they can get pretty much whatever they want rolled now. We got all our dice back on Baltic. If we can kill something with Grievous, maybe the Trooper will get to reactivate everybody. See if he can really push some damage through. So the Jedi Robes focus is going to change. Force Throw to unit damage. Probably would have been better had we realized at the time to save that and then remove one of the other die. It's always easier to see these things afterwards. Alright, so Baltic is eliminated. The holdout blaster will go over to Grievous. He's unfortunately already rolled for the turn. He's going to throw a ton of damage on Rey. 5, half her health. And probably claim next to move on. So now we're down to 10 health versus 9, so this is a pretty even match so far, even though earlier it seemed really lopsided. We've still got our backup muscle that we haven't used this game. We're really trying to save it for when we get somebody closer, but it might make sense to start activating it every turn just to put some pressure on them. We can set that Trooper up so they can't absorb without dying, and that would be ideal. Looks like everybody's going to turn into a resource. Yeah, I'll start piling damage on Rey, backup muscle. She's now at 4, so she's breaking range. Play a second copy of backup muscle, so if we can pump out 2 damage a turn from upgrades, the Grievous deck will be pretty happy. So that's up to 7 on Rey now. Red player claimed that round, so that's why we ended up with the damage on Grievous. And they have a defensive stance to throw some shields, probably Rey. So we're going to get rid of On the Hunt and return. Yeah, replace it with a flamethrower. That way we save 1 resource back. Toast is going to shoot through for 2, so Grievous is down to 7 health. Ray's down to 3, and the Trooper's down to 4. So again, 7 health to 7 health. Luckily, Grievous can slash pretty strongly. Not if he doesn't roll. Good news for the Grievous players that only having 1 character, you're probably gonna claim a lot. So unpredictable. This Grievous dies searching for some damage. If we could just off Ray, it would be fine. So we're going all in. We're gonna Tactical Mastery, then re-roll everything. Roll well enough to get rid of Ray. That'll give Jedi Rogues to Grievous, but I don't think they're going to matter. The Troopers out of luck now. 1 with the Force will stick around once Ray goes away. So yeah, we'll take the Jedi Rogues. Got to activate Grievous at least once. It's now down to how fast can that Trooper and 1 with the Force deal 7 damage to Grievous. It's going to be hard to outrace him when you've got a backup muscle with some damage on the board already. But that 1 with the Force can become a 3 damage, so this could still be pretty brutal. I'm going to play a flank to remove the flamethrower die. Save all the 8 health they can. Move another 1 with backup muscle, number 1. So 1 with the Force will come back in and roll some focus. Discard a data pad to reroll. Throw 2 more on the Trooper. So now all we got to do is claim once. So even if they claim this round, we can just claim first thing next turn. So that's pretty much it. Unless they can get 7 this round, that's going to be hard. Yeah, they're going to resolve their damage. We'll claim. Picked off Grievous is victorious.